My girlfriend texted, "You're not my type anymore. I've outgrown you and need someone more successful." I just made partner at my law firm, $350K salary. I replied, "Congratulations on your growth." Then I posted my promotion announcement and new Tesla when she called crying that she made a mistake, and I was already on a date with her more successful older sister. I swear I stared at that text for a full 30 seconds, letting every syllable soak in like it was some kind of cosmic joke. Outgrow me? Need someone more successful? I was literally sitting in my office with a bottle of champagne the partners had left on my desk, the contract with my new salary printed and clipped neatly to the folder in front of me, and my assistant trying not to explode from excitement because she already saw the email go out firm-wide. My name, Evan Carter, had just been added to the wall outside the conference room, where the partners' names lived in those polished silver letters. I had worked 10 years for that moment, bled for it, sacrificed sleep and weekends and relationships for it, and the one person who supposedly loved me was dumping me over text the same day because she believed I wasn't successful enough for her anymore. You can't make this stuff up. Her name was Madison, and for 2 years she'd been this mix of charming, passionate, dramatic, and, how do I put this nicely, absolutely addicted to the idea of status. And I knew that, deep down, but I thought it was mostly harmless. She liked nice dinners, polished shoes, fancy hotels, the type of lifestyle photos people post on Instagram to pretend their life is a golden movie montage. I didn't mind making her happy. I genuinely cared for her. But the thing about people who depend on external validation, they never feel like they're enough. And they never feel like you are enough. As the months went on, I noticed the signs, the comparisons, the comments. "Babe, did you see how Carly's boyfriend just made VP at 32? It's crazy how Brianna's fiancé got her a Range Rover. So sweet, right?" My mom said real stability comes when both partners are high achievers, you know? It was never "you're not enough," at least not at first, but it was always framed around men she thought were above me. I ignored it for a while. People get influenced by their friends, social media, whatever. It happens. But the shift became more obvious when her older sister, Brooke, came back into the picture after a year abroad. Brooke is, how do I even describe her without sounding like a cliche? She's calm in a way that makes people feel safe immediately. She's successful, crazy successful, but never rubs it in anyone's face. She's an ER physician with this dry sense of humor that sneaks up on you, and she doesn't care about flashy things. She could be wearing jeans and a hoodie and still walks into a room like she's the most grounded person there. And every time the three of us were in the same room, I could feel this tension radiating from Madison, not toward me, but toward her sister. Resentment, insecurity, competition, the kind of rivalry you'd expect in high school, not between two grown women working in completely different fields. It finally reached a weird boiling point when we were at dinner a few months ago, and Brooke asked me about a case I've been working on. She was interested, asked good questions, actually followed the arguments. When she made a comment about one part of my strategy being kind of brilliant, I swear to God Madison went dead silent. After we got home, she said, "It's embarrassing when people act like you're this big genius. Like, relax." So yeah, I knew things were off. But I didn't think she'd actually leave. Especially not the way she did. Over text midday, out of nowhere, telling me she needed someone more successful. Someone driven enough to match her ambition. The irony still tastes sweet. Because she sent that text an hour before the partners officially announced my promotion. So I stared at her message, sipped champagne, and typed back, "Congratulations on your growth." That's all. No begging. No drama. No emotional grand finale. Just those 4 words. About 20 minutes later, the firm's official announcement hit LinkedIn, then the internal email blast, then the photos the marketing team took of me shaking hands with the senior partner. My phone started buzzing nonstop. Colleagues, old classmates, clients, even my law school professor, who once said I reminded him of the quiet kind of shark. I posted a single photo. Me standing next to the new Tesla Model S I'd picked up that morning. The giant red bow still on the hood because the dealership insisted on the theatrics. The caption was simple. Partner. Grateful. I didn't tag anyone. I didn't flex anything. But people recognize a flex when they saw one. 10 minutes after posting, my phone rang. Her name lit up the screen. Madison. I didn't answer. She called again. And again. Then she sent a flood of texts that looked like emotional whiplash in written form. Why didn't you tell me? I can't believe you didn't think to share this with me. We should celebrate together. Please call me. I made a mistake, okay? I overreacted. Evan answered me this isn't funny. Then the one that actually made me laugh out loud. You're going to ruin us over one stupid text? Us? She ended us. She ended it with a monologue about outgrowing me like I was some outdated software update. And suddenly, because she saw a photo of the Tesla and a shiny title, she remembered I existed? No, I wasn't playing that game. What made it even more ironic was that when her call came in, I wasn't alone. I was sitting across from her sister, Brooke, in a quiet, cozy restaurant that overlooked the river. And before anyone jumps to conclusions, no, I wasn't dating Brooke at that time. The truth is, after the breakup text earlier that day, I told our mutual friend group what happened. The news traveled fast. Brooke texted me later that afternoon. Heard what happened. Want some company tonight? You shouldn't celebrate alone. I said sure. Not because I had some secret agenda, but because she was always easy to talk to, and I honestly needed someone normal around me. Someone who didn't turn everything into a competition. Sitting across from her, she raised an eyebrow when my phone buzzed for the 6th or 7th time. Let me guess, she said with a little half-smile. Madison realized the world doesn't revolve around her? I couldn't help laughing. Something like that. She took a sip of her wine and tilted her head. You going to answer? No, I said. I'm not giving her that kind of power back. Good, she said, and for a moment her expression softened, like she understood something deeper than I was saying. You deserve someone who's proud of you without needing it to be about them. That comment stuck with me longer than I expected, because that was exactly what had been missing. The celebration wasn't about the car or the raise. It was about the years of grind finally paying off. Madison never cared about the grind. She only cared about the result. And with Brooke sitting across from me, it felt like she actually saw the journey, not just the finish line. We talked for hours. She told me stories about ridiculous ER nights. I told her stories about absurd clients. And somewhere between her sarcastic jokes and her genuine warmth, I realized I felt more understood in those 2 hours than I felt in the last 2 years with her sister. When we left the restaurant, she hugged me. One of those hugs that feels grounding, not romantic, just real. And again my phone buzzed. Another call from Madison. I ignored it. Brooke noticed but didn't comment. She just squeezed my shoulder lightly before getting into her car. Congratulations again, partner Carter, she said with a smirk. I smiled back. Thanks, Dr. Bennett. I didn't know it yet, but that moment would become a turning point. The first little shift in the gravity between us. The next morning, the meltdown truly began. Madison showed up at my apartment at 7:30 a.m., pounding on the door like she was escaping a burning building. When I opened it, because I knew she'd wake the whole floor otherwise, her eyes were red and swollen, and she launched into this frantic monologue about how she didn't mean what she said, how she was under stress, how she was just scared of stagnation, whatever that meant. I stood there, letting her talk, letting the emotional chaos swirl around her. When she finally stopped, waiting for my reaction, all I said was, "You made your choice." That set her off completely. So that's it? You're just going to throw US away. There was nothing to throw away. I said, "You ended it." But I didn't know about the promotion, she yelled, like that somehow justified it. If I had known, I cut her off with a quiet, "Exactly." The look on her face. I don't think I'll ever forget it. That moment she realized she said the quiet part out loud. That her love, if you could call it that, was conditional, contingent, transactional. She tried to recover, backpedaling hard. No, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant, but I wasn't interested in dissecting her excuses. I simply told her I needed space. I didn't trust the foundation of the relationship anymore, and she needed to leave. She cried, argued, accused, pleaded. I didn't budge. When she finally left, she muttered, "You'll regret this. You'll be lonely without me." Spoiler, I wasn't. In fact, the universe seemed determined to prove the opposite. Over the next week, Brooke checked in on me a few times, just casual, nothing that crossed any lines. But every conversation felt natural, easy, genuine, and she never once brought up her sister beyond a single dry comment. "She's spiraling. Try not to get dragged into it." Then everything escalated, because Madison saw something she wasn't supposed to see. And that was the night my phone nearly exploded.